Jupiter's mean distance from the Sun is about 483 million miles. Jupiter's aphelion is about 506 million miles, and its perihelion is about 460 million miles. Write an equation for the orbit of Jupiter around the Sun. Now, from reading the text, we learn that the orbit of a planet around our Sun is actually an elliptical orbit. Right, so we have an elliptical orbit, and the Sun is one of the foci. So, if we sort of just draw a grid here, just to kind of get an idea, I'll draw some axes, and let's draw something that looks like an ellipse. So what we do is we have the Sun at one of the foci. So there's the Sun. The perihelion is the shortest distance between the Sun and the orbit. All right, so that distance right there, the perihelion, is 460. The aphelion is the longest distance, which would be, in this case, 506. Now, we are told that the mean distance from the Sun is about 483 million miles. So it turns out that that mean distance is equal to half of it's equal to what we've called the length of the semi-major axis. So the length of the semi-major axis is 483. So if we think of this being as an x squared over a squared and a y squared over b squared equals 1. Now I just made the assumption, let's make the x-axis the major axis. So then the length of the semi-major axis is 483, so now I have x squared over 483 squared. Now I still don't have the b. So I have to figure out, what is that b value? Well, I know that this distance is 483. And I know that the perihelion is 460. Well, what that tells me is the distance between the center and the focus must be 23 units, because 460 plus 23 is 483. And so then that tells me then that c is equal to 23. Now, since c squared is equal to, in this case, it's going to be a squared minus b squared, then that would tell me that c squared, 23 squared, is equal to 483 squared minus b squared. Now let's solve that for the b. So we would have 23 squared (529) equals 483 squared (233,289) minus b squared. All right, subtracting the 233,289. So 529 minus 233,289. That's negative 232,760 equals negative b squared. All right, so then dividing both sides by negative 1, b squared is equal to 232,760. And so, well, wait a second, that's what we need, right? We need that b squared. Right, we need b squared, so we don't actually need b because for the equation we just need the b squared. So then the equation is x squared over 483 squared, so that's x squared over 233,289 plus y squared over b squared. Well, b squared is 232,760 equals 1. So there's the equation. There's an equation that represents the orbit of Jupiter around the Sun.